Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. It has been less than a week since we saw you, so things should still be fresh in everyone's mind except for mine, because I don't remember. That's fine. Hey, SJ, why don't you tell us what we're playing and how things are going to go, and why you're not making things needlessly more complicated for us?
I would never. So we are playing Kids on Brooms, the spinoff of Kids on Bikes. Think Harry Potter, but not the IP. We have our own houses, characters, mechanics. Everything's better. So when we last left off, you guys were preparing for a field trip. You were propositioned by Tim to help solve how a ghost died that is currently haunting him, thanks to somebody blabbing about him seeing ghosts, and now ghosts are bothering him because they know he can see them. And you guys also have a big transfiguration project due on Tuesday, which is going really well for some of you. But why don't you guys tell me about your characters and where you're at with that? We'll start with Misha.
All right, I'm Misha, underscore lesson 3 here on Twitch, at Mishwea on Twitter or Tumblr. I'm playing Kels. She is the reluctant oracle trope, which mostly means she gets timely visions, like in case someone's turning into a banana and needs to be saved. She's really good at those banana visions, really got them handled. It's highly unhelpful. Definitely gung-ho about helping Tim, definitely not related to her being the one who basically informed the whole school that he could talk to the ghosts. Didn't realize those ghosts would, follow through on this information. That was a surprise. So yeah, she'll be fine. Hatter.
Hello, I am Hatter of the No Hat variety. I am playing Brigham, who is a funny klutz, and he's very special. He only has one leg and is not very good with it, but he tries his best and is surprisingly a jock. I don't know how I managed that. Last week's shenanigans were interesting, and I don't know if Brigham will ever eat a banana ever again, but I don't think it's much of a loss, so we should be okay. Very excited for the museum trip. Kind of wish there's going to be pictures and stuff. But Sin, all you.
Hi, I'm Sin, or sinful underscore potato on most social media sites. I promise you it sounds worse. It sounds worse than it is. I play Aspen, who is the haughty descendant trope. Yeah. Fun stuff. Twy.
Hello, I'm Twi'lek, and I am playing Gustav. I was also approached by Tim in order to go on this heist, like everybody here. And I'm very eager to do this because although Tim hates me by proxy through Kells, he is in fact the person in the school who most likes me outside of this group. Phineas.
Is that true? I don't know, man. Anyway, it's certainly true in Gustav's head. Gustav left out the part where he's trying to become a mafiosi. A mafioso? Yeah, mafioso. Yeah, I am Zero Daylight. I play Phineas Rook. Phineas is kind and thoughtful and empathetic. All these things are true. I see those looks on your faces. How much time do the rest of you think about like how to make the lives better for everyone and righting injustices? Zero. Okay, so Phineas is whatever. And as we discovered last time, he is less weird than Aspen. He is not good at talking to people without freaking them out, but Aspen is worse. So he is moving up the chain, which is fine. And this time he has to go break rules, which he doesn't feel good about. But he does feel good about helping Tim.
Cool. Oh, gosh dang it. Just a second.
While we're waiting, I will say that the only person who knows that the only people that know that Kells told the mob, aka Sammy, about the whole Tim sees ghosts is Izzy, whom Kels is having a fight with, and Phineas, who found out from Izzy
And
because of said fight.
but Kel doesn't know that Phineas knows,
Yes.
which is
It's our
fine
secret shame.
because he's a good person and he figures that that it's better for you to come to peace and like admit you're wrong. That's more important than making you feel bad.
Yeah, and Kel's opinion is if no one knows, that's for the best, and she's going to keep it down there forever. Just like she was thinking when Gustav was talking about video games last time, maybe we'll play them over break. She was thinking about the time she borrowed a video game of his from camp and never returned it, and I think lost it. So, just keeping that to herself too. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. So before SJ can come back and ruin all of our plans, do we have any?
Yes. So I think the breakdown of the plan was Kels and Phineas was going to sneak away with Tim
Yes.
during the distraction. And the distraction is something. We have a few options, but I think Gustav was working on one.
Well, that didn't all go super well, did it, Gustav?
We got entirely none of the options up and running.
Yeah, yeah. You spent a while trying to transmute a bunch of like gag stuff and explosives into things so that they wouldn't be discovered, and it didn't work out real well.
And if you discuss with me with that, I think either we can work together to get a transmutation to stick, and if they allow us to bring I assume that we bring wands with us to the museum, but assuming we do, then we can transfigure it quick before our bags are checked. Or you just have to pop it in your mouth to hide it right before they check. I mean, those are really the only two options.
Well, there's a third one, but let's not go
don't
there.
Hey, SJ, do we get to take our wands on the trip?
You can have them in your backpack.
Okay.
It's Wizarding Society, so they're very touchy about not having their wands.
Yeah.
So you will have it, but you will not have it out.
There's a sign at the museum saying no casting, no running, no making funny faces in the mirrors.
Right, and the teachers will make clear there will be significant consequences for any casting magic within the museum.
Okay. Well, the plan of casting magic in the museum just went out the window then.
Well, just do it right before, right outside the museum.
On the public street. I mean, come on, man. The whole thing is going to go so pear-shaped. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
We'll just add that to one of the rules we're going to break.
Good thing I didn't hear your plan. It's fine.
Yeah.
It was
We'll
the same
probably
plan
help
as
you.
before.
It's the same plan as before. We were just discussing that we have
It's
the whole
it's not going to work.
three of us sneak out. The whole distraction part is less clear.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
gotcha.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll see.
You'll see. So you guys start out breakfast if you choose to get breakfast. It is an earlier morning. So Tim goes to breakfast, loads up his plate, apparently still stress eating. So you guys have any last minute arrangements you need to make. Gustav, what did you decide to do with Mojo?
We decided to beg for help, which is why at breakfast I am going to be saying, I couldn't transfigure the distractions. Could anybody help? Do we know any upper years who could help?
Not any that are going to do it for us without asking weird questions.
Or favors.
I mean, yeah.
Look, at this point, it looks like I'm failing transfiguration completely. I'm never going to be able to do the extracurricular stuff as well. Could somebody try and transfigure the items?
Yeah, my last transfiguration didn't go so hot, so I think I'm not gonna try. So
Well, I mean, Rudy isn't here anymore, so I mean, not at this table.
this is true. All right, I can give it a shot. What are you trying to do?
Well, Mojo had some prank items, including some pellets that explode into stink bombs and stuff like that. And we thought we would transfigure them into a bracelet of beads so that we could get it past the security. So,
And a screaming snake into a pen.
right. Or, if there's enough, perhaps 2 pens. But I just couldn't do the spells.
Well,
Like it failed, or
In some cases, they just faded too quickly, so they didn't stick. Like he was able to do them, but
yeah. Well, I
Do you
mean,
rem-
if it
Do you remember how at the summer camp, and we got to try our very first spells, and I couldn't do it, and like everybody laughed at me? It was just like that.
oh, okay. Mojo laughed at you?
Well, no, he was sort of coughing because the stink bomb went off.
Oh, yeah. Well, as long as it doesn't go off, we could probably do it if we were together. You just need to impose your will on the things that just change their shape.
yeah, if all of us try to do it together, that can't
We
go
definitely won't knock ourselves out right before the field trip.
I mean, that would simplify the situation significantly.
Why don't we go up to a room in the library where there's privacy, and then quickly try it before the trip leaves?
wrong. Okay, if we're doing that, we gotta go now.
Yeah, sounds
Yep.
good.
We, of course, take a long detour around Rudy's table, just in case.
or he's in the back corner. All right, guys, show up to the library. What are you guys trying to transfigure? Did you bring Mojo with you, or is he?
Yes, I did bring Mojo.
Okay.
Mojo, do you have the items for the field trip?
Oh, I got the items.
Yeah. Let's transfigure them quickly.
Okay. And he'll pull off his backpack and pull out a bunch of random stuff. So there's dung snaps, which, like I described, they're kind of like little stink bombs that pop on the ground. Screaming snakes, bubble bomb powder, and splatter stones.
Is the bubble bomb powder in a packet of some kind?
Yeah, it's in just a kind of jar.
Perhaps we could turn that into a can of Coke or something like that?
In what?
Yeah,
Pop.
no Coke.
Can of pop. He looks at you guys like,
Is it an explosive?
No,
Yeah.
no, it's a nymph drink.
Oh,
oh,
There's usually stuff in the cans.
Hmm.
Yeah?
I just always see them when they're empty.
Huh.
I don't know for. Oh, yes, that's because people are awful, and they litter up your home habitat. I'm fairly certain that outside food and drink may not be allowed in the museum, as per the signs that Kels and I were looking at as we were examining the photographic images of the museum last night. So something edible is maybe not a good idea.
You know that the museum is going to have their own shop where they sell stuff.
Probably.
All right, well, let's try to configure what we can. What's the easiest one? One of these snakes into like a pen or something?
yeah, probably. I mean, they're not gonna you taking notes. They'll take away a pen, right?
Yeah. I have lots of pens. Just in case. At all times. So go ahead, Brigham.
All right, so give me a transfiguration roll. So charm, difficulty 10.
Oh,
Which
that's
you have 20
pretty
charm,
good.
right? I think you have
Yeah.
20 charm.
Oh hell, I could have just taken half then.
If you take half, you barely succeed is the
Yeah.
problem. So it might untransfigure by the time you guys get there, when you at an inopportune time.
And this is.
Unfortunately, I got an 8.
Did you roll your magic die?
That's with the magic die.
Oh, boo.
Do you want to
At least it's not
use a boon?
that'd still only get us to barely passing, and we need it to be set.
True. So Brigham tries. It turns into it's like a snake with the pen part coming out of its mouth. So it kind of looks like a pen, but a snake pen. So it's a little sus.
We could save
No
the
telling
next
how
turn.
long it's gonna last.
Why is transfiguration so hard?
It's very difficult. Yeah.
Are they really going to check us, though? I mean, they'll check Mojo for sure, but if the rest of us, if we just put like a couple things on each of us, they're probably not going to check us all.
Okay, well, once they find it on one person, they find a lot of people. Here, try.
It's up
try
to you
another
guys
one
what
of
risk
those.
you're willing to take. They'll definitely check Mojo.
Yeah. I mean, you could try again on another pen, because if you get one to look normal, they might
Okay.
confiscate the unnormal one, but they'll leave the other one alone.
True. Okay, I will try one more time. Ooh, that went much better. I got a 19.
Nice. Okay, this time he does it, and it is perfect. It's nice. It's solid. It looks like a pen.
That's good. That's good. All right, at least try the bracelet one while we're here.
Okay.
We say, suddenly realizing Brigham is very good at transfiguration.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
Okay, I mean it's transformed into a bracelet.
Can't wait till that turns into a bunch of stink bombs and
That's
falls to the
good.
ground. All right. Well,
This is much easier than it was with Rudy.
yeah, it's
Crazy.
you were probably struggling through a lot, actually.
I
Okay.
feel better. Thanks for making me do this.
Good. Well, I'm glad that's worked out. So
Okay, so you guys transformed. It was 2 screaming snakes, one into a snake pen, one into a normal pen, and then some dung snaps into a bracelet.
yeah. So
How are you dividing them up? Who's carrying what?
Gustav should have the pen. Maybe both pens? Just because you'd be more likely to be using a pen than a quill. And then I'd recommend just putting the bracelet into a bag in case it breaks up.
You guys won't be able to have your backpacks. Your wands will be like inside. So you guys will be wearing your school uniforms
Okay.
because you're going to a school trip. So and there's a pouch inside your jacket where you can keep your wand.
Okay. But we probably have like pockets or something, right?
Yeah.
So then, I don't know, either Aspen or Brigham can probably hold on to the bracelet.
I think Aspen, because she wears jewelry like that
Yeah.
pendant. And also, if one of them breaks, well, they'll just assume that it's Pegasus poop.
Cool.
You have a good point.
You do smell very good today, Aspen. Not like, well,
Thank you. I've worked hard.
Worked hard at what? Okay, anyway.
Scrapping between
We
the
better.
toes.
I think that's all we can really do. So I guess get the rest of that into somewhere, give it back to Mojo for him to deal with. I think that's plenty for a distraction.
So you guys he runs back to his room to drop off the stuff because he can't. He'll obviously get caught if he has anything on his person. So he drops off his stuff, and then you guys are to meet in the courtyard towards the front of the school for the field trip.
All right.
And you see other years there too. So, because this whole day is basically dedicated to field trips. You guys are going to the North American Magical History Museum. The other years are going to just like second year is going to just a standard magical museum, just overall magical museum. Third years are going to Magman, and fourth years are allowed to go to some sort of college campus. So you guys line up. So you have what's called Dorians, so invented by Francis Dorian. Basically a door which can transport you to another door. Has to be very coordinated with the Department of Transportation and everything. As far as when that happens, they're not just something you have in your house, but unless you're very rich. And that way they're not all trying to shuttle you via train or carriage for an entire year worth of students. So you guys will line up at the door. They give a quick little briefing first. So Professor Hara starts reading out the groups. So in his group, Aspen and Phineas, you're in his group. Professor Hart has Brigham, Gustav, and Kels. Professor Figgis has Tim, Mojo, and Sai. And then Professor Victus has Rudy, Calder, some others. So. Obviously, there's more students, but the important ones. As far as who's part of your plan. Cool. You do see Professor Victus shaking down Mojo like he's got his wand, and it like opens up his jacket and lifts stuff out of his pockets, and it's like a just a regular pen, and he tests it and everything. He's like, "I'm clean, Professor. Nothing on me. I'm a good boy." And it's like, "Yeah, sure, all right." But each of you will take turn walking through the door, and when you walk through the door, you are in bright sunlight outside of the North American Magical History Museum.
Cool. That was fancy.
Yep. So you guys watch. Everyone starts dividing into their groups. So if you're going to do something together, like give each other something, it needs to be now before you guys split off into your groups. Okay.
Which group was Mojo in?
Mojo is in Professor Figgis's group with Tim and Sai.
Okay.
Sai?
Probably, like, someone has to get the stuff to Mojo, right?
Sure.
You're going to give everything to Mojo?
Well, probably not everything, in case we need a separate distraction.
I'll give Mojo a pen just in case he sees, an opportune time.
Which pen?
He's lost track. Oh
I
no.
have a good one and a snake one. A very suspicious snake one.
Yeah, but I don't want to get Mojo in trouble. He's already in trouble anyway. He's going to get himself in trouble, but I don't want to be culpable. I shall give him the good pen, and I shall fall upon this pen myself.
So he very slyly walks past you and kind of like does the bump into you, grabs the pen, and keeps walking over to his group.
And as I leave, I'll whisper to Sai that he's got to cover for Tim because none of us will be there. He probably already realizes that, but
yeah. Cool. You guys start dividing up because you're going to start at different places in the museum. That way, there's not an entire year's worth of students at one exhibit. So we'll have Professor Hara. Your group will start in so that's Aspen and Phineas in the Salem section.
As we're dividing up, I will catch Kel's eyes and like, where do we meet? Like, we were both familiar with the layout of the museum, so we just need to have a spot.
And I guess a time. Did they give us a schedule before we went about what we're doing, or
You'll be with your group. That's
basically the whole day kind of thing?
Yeah, you're when you split into groups, they might brief you more on, hey, this is what our group schedule is.
Okay.
Because
But there will be lunch at some point, we assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because were we thinking about doing this before lunch or after lunch? Because we probably would have assumed there was a lunch either way.
Probably before. I don't know.
So we probably on the way to the second exhibit, and we'll meet in by the front bathrooms. I presume there's bathrooms near the front or near the exit or whatever.
Some area, like maybe there's a cloakroom or something. But there's some area that's near the entrance that we can.
Yeah, there's like a lobby and a little gift shop and.
Okay, meet by the gift shop. But surreptitiously.
Yeah, in our school uniforms. Yeah. Got it. We'll get there.
Do you guys relay this to anybody else?
I mean, Tim would have to know this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Professor Hara, your group, so that's Aspen and Phineas. You guys are going to start in the Salem section. Professor Hart's group, you guys are going to start in the history of like switching from staffs and wands and methods of magical use in North America. Professor Victus's group will start in the section with a bunch of in the Artemis section of like how Artemis is the very first official formal magical school created, and then Professor Figus's group will start in the exhibits about North American creatures, magical creatures. Cool. So Professor Hara's group will start with you guys. That's Aspen and Phineas. You have some other random people in your group, but you see an exhibit on Salem about the Salem witch trials, how people originally came over, but it was mainly nymphs that came over to America first. There was a very small group of magical people, but the magical people born to the original settlers didn't realize they were magical. They weren't born into a magical family. They were essentially born to nymph parents, magical. So then there was all of this, all the witch hunts and negativity on witches and wizards, because there was nobody to take these wizards and be like, hey, this is what's happening to you. We have our own society. Eventually, wizards and witches came over, figured out this was happening, created Artemis and some other systems for young wizards and witches born to nymph families, and started creating a North American society of magical people.
I always thought it was a blend of religious zealotry, ergot poisoning, and misogyny. This is fascinating.
That too. I mean, there's obviously not a lot of non-witches that died, a lot of nymph people, just because of the paranoia and everything. So.
Oh.
Cool. Yes, Phineas.
Is there a test or something?
You have an assignment where you're supposed to choose an exhibit and write a report on it.
Ah, I see. And we'll be having lunch, yes?
Yes, we will be having lunch.
Sorry. I just wasn't sure.
Anyways, so he starts droning on about the exhibit because he's also the teacher, so he knows a lot about this stuff, and we'll just keep droning on and on and on as you guys are allowed to kind of look around at the exhibit.
And there's shadowy corners everywhere, obviously.
Yeah, it's got that museum atmosphere where it's a dark topic, so it's got some of the dim lights because it's more of a somber theme, you know.
Yep. Phineas will do what he always does and skulk in the dark corners.
Let's see.
Professor Hara.
Yeah, yes, Aspen.
I would just like to say how mighty fine dashing you look today.
Thank you. You're bordering on inappropriate.
Okay. Sorry. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any questions, Aspen, on Salem specifically?
Where does the name Salem come from?
He'll go on a whole tirade about Salem, the name, the original settlers there, how the town came to be, and just giving you a whole little history lesson on Salem, essentially. What's the other team? Professor Hart's group, so Hatter, Gustav, and Kells. Professor Hart is more just letting you guys look over stuff. Just kind of like standing in the middle of the room while you guys look and read yourself and everything at the exhibit. So,
Hey, Kels.
Yeah.
Are y'all going now or after lunch?
Going once we get to the next exhibit.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know when to try to do distraction.
Yeah.
Will you give me like a signal or something?
I could. But I mean, you know, I'm taking a lot of notes here. I mean, we might as well get as much as we can out of each of these exhibits. That way we can pick one of the sections we all seen. That's why it's optimal to learn as much as we can in this first one.
That's true. Hey,
I wish I had done the
Professor.
Salem one. Go ahead.
yes,
We're
Brigham.
about to go to the Salem one. What did they use before staffs?
Well, so rudimentary magic. You don't actually technically need a medium through which to cast magic. It just makes it so much easier and a lot more powerful to be able to channel that magical energy through something. So there is the possibility of casting magic without anything. Through religious means, people would do blood sacrifices not realizing they were doing rudimentary blood magic. Sometimes it would work, and that was because the person doing it was magical. So when it would work for someone, they assumed it worked for everyone, so you would see a lot more blood sacrifices, and usually animals, but human sacrifices as well. Then people, as things started to develop, people figured out that they were able to channel through magical objects that they would discover, and then started creating staffs. Then it was optimized, so they were able to create wands, which are way more portable, smaller, easier to cast, move around for quicker casting.
Are you saying that back in the ancient days, school was even harder than it is now?
I would say so. Depending if there was formal school, it's definitely not the same sort of schooling we have today, where it's so formal and organized. It's a lot more apprenticeships.
So really, you can cast magic through anything? Like, could I cast magic through a bowl of soup?
That's not going to work as a proper medium. So, like, your wand is special to you, correct? You know, it has magical properties to it, and it relates to you on some level. But if you were just to pick up a random stick, it wouldn't have the same effect.
And it works best when it's using something magical to channel through. That's why we have different cores, right?
Correct.
So wait, are we channeling the magic through the wand or through the core?
Both. Both. You have to use a stable material for the wand itself because otherwise the wand would just shatter. The casing of the wand is more to keep the core safe, but kind of a mix of the two.
Very interesting. What's your wand made out of, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, cherry blossom wood.
And the core?
My core is a phoenix feather.
Oh, that's really neat. Thank you, Professor.
No problem, Brigham. Cool. So you guys aren't making your move at this exhibit?
Kel said
Phineas, did you... Kel said what?
Kel said after the at the second exhibit is the...
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second exhibit you'll go to, Professor Hart's group, you'll go to the North American fauna. Professor Hart's group, you'll go to the... you can go to the Salem one.
Phineas was lurking in shadows and will simply attempt to stay lurking in shadows as the rest of the team leaves.
Okay, so you're going to stay behind in the Salem exhibit?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a...
Remain hidden.
Yeah, which one is that?
Flight.
Flight? Okay, yeah. Give me a flight roll, difficulty 10.
$15.
Okay, cool. Yeah. He doesn't notice you. He's too busy droning on about the exhibits.
But he'll remember I was there. Because I asked a question. And then
Cool.
as soon as they
So-
leave, I'll just be making my way along the shadows over towards the darkest corner near the thing. The
Here.
gift shop.
Kels. Your group is now in the Salem exhibit.
I'll be reading the exhibit suspiciously near Brigham, and they'll be like, well, it's time.
Okay, we'll cover for you. Be safe, okay?
Yeah. And I'll just start moseying away nonchalantly, reading exhibits towards the exit. Yeah.
Okay, same thing. Flight roll, difficulty 10.
Can I help by going up to the professor, kind of angling him away and asking questions?
Her, I think.
You can. Give me a charm
let's-
roll.
Okay.
Brigham. Yeah.
I got an 8. Well, 9, I guess.
Okay, that's fine. So Brigham starts chatting up the Professor Hart, asking about other things and explaining his own wand and wand core and if there's a difference between, if there's optimization or whatever based on the different kinds of woods and cores and such. Because Kels, you guys talked about how yours is a karate belt, and he's wondering how is that magical, and so
Exactly. How much is help?
he rolled an 8, so we'll say plus 1.
Okay. So I did 7, and with that it'll be an 8, and with
You
2
guys have other distraction tools too.
I feel like we need that when people start going, I think they're missing.
Yeah.
And then something chaotic happens, I think is probably the play here. Brigham will figure that out. Actually, let me check on the... can I use 2 minor boons to bring that up?
Yeah.
All right. It'll be exactly 10 with the 2 minor boons then.
You might want to
Okay.
spend an AT on top of that, so it's not right at the number.
I mean, I don't know if one beyond the number is going to. Is it?
Mechanically, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and tell me that's wrong, SJ, but I think that there's like, if you hit the number exactly, it's like you barely scraped by.
Yes.
Yeah. So 11 is demonstrably, 11 is better than 10. 11 is more better than 10 than 12 is to 11. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll spend one of the AT to make it 11.
Okay. Let's see. Who else is in your group? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Cool. You sneak by. You might have a couple students that like notice you kind of creeping, but they don't say anything. Probably just assume you're going to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys meet at the gift shop.
Yeah.
Kels walks by. Where's Phineas? Hello, Kels.
Oh, hi, Phineas. Where's Tim?
I don't know. Should
It
be
takes a
along
few minutes, but
momentarily.
yeah, Tim meets you in there, goes in.
He just
All right,
walks
you guys
up. He's like, yeah, I asked if I could go to the bathroom. No big deal.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's go.
Okay. You guys go out just nonchalantly. Are you guys going out the front entrance?
Oh, and we're going out invisibly, of course.
Oh, hey, wait, no.
I
we
made like
can't
5
use-
people invisible. Just the other
Okay,
day.
remember the rule about no magic in the museum? You think an alarm's going to go off if someone uses magic inside their museum full of
that's a good
rare
point.
exhibits?
That's a good point.
I think they probably have an alarm for that.
All right.
Let's see, we knew the map. I feel like most other doors are going to have a problem, though, of having alarms on them. So,
Maybe. I mean, there's definitely emergency exits because there has to be. What if something goes wrong and
yeah,
people need to get out quickly?
but they are probably armed, which would also be a problem.
Yes. We have studied, like we explicitly studied the layout of this place and scoured it with Kel's brain for the most likely path. And so we will follow the most likely path. The most likely path is out the front doors. We'll take the front doors. But if there's an obvious, like, side entrance that is not a fire escape.
I mean, to be fair, you guys know the layout, but it's not showing you like employee back rooms and
Yeah.
side rooms and stuff. It's showing
It
you,
wouldn't do.
where exhibits are.
Yeah.
It's not the full blueprints of the place, but
Did the entrance have like a security guard situation? Like how many?
yeah, it's right. And you see
people-
the front desk too. So the front desk would probably be a little like, why are there 3 random students leaving the museum? Because you are in your jackets.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
coming back.
like how? So was our uniform just the jackets, or do we wear like a certain uniform situation as well?
It's a little less obvious with your shirts underneath because they're just like your standard like kind of boarding school looking t-shirts with either a tie or a tie tab.
All right, jackets off. Hold them so the guard can't see him very clearly.
Who has money?
I got what for?
Yeah, I have some. What's up?
We should buy museum
Museum
t-shirts.
t-shirts.
Ugh. I guess.
All right. Let's see.
Isn't that more weird that a bunch of students buy T-shirts and then leave?
Well, but did we just look like people in t-shirts?
There's other people here with like their families and
Yeah.
stuff, but they didn't close down the museum just for you guys. So
Okay. I think I barely have enough money for their cheapest T-shirt.
okay. T-shirts are like 1 gold. There might be they're 1 gold for like a $10 t-shirt.
Okay. I have enough money for a T-shirt.
There's ones that like they're like the t-shirts wrapped up with the hat,
Sure.
classic gift
Sure.
shop.
Yeah.
So Tim will buy one, you will buy one. Are you buying Phineas one?
I don't have enough money to
Tim
buy
will buy
Phineas
me
ones.
And
Better.
we'll buy Phineas one.
Yeah.
Then.
Okay.
So you guys buy it.
Oh wow, I'm so excited. And then I'll take off the jacket. Well,
Jacket's
I assume
off.
we already took off the jackets
Yeah.
when we
Jacket
bought
off,
it.
Yeah.
tied around the waist, t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Phineas looks
Tug 'em
very
sorts.
weird.
So now you guys are in nice, lovely matching T-shirts. You might have gotten them in
yeah.
different colors, but
Yeah, I'm so happy that we all matching t-shirts when we get caught by this lady. All right. So then we nonchalantly leave the museum as normal kids who are not in school uniforms, probably.
yes, one of you guys give me a charm roll. Difficulty 6.
It's me.
don't look over
Hello. Can you help me?
If absolutely necessary.
It might be necessary. Unless you want me to try to do a reroll. I got a 4.
Reroll. We've got major boons.
All
Wow,
right.
how
well,
likely how likely are you to get higher? What's your charm die?
That was a 3 on the die. I have a d6 for charm.
Okay.
We could try. I rolled a 3, so it's halfway there. Whoa.
There's a 50%
Living
chance
on a
that
prayer.
it'll get worse. How about we spend a minor boon and I will give you 2 with an adversity token because I add 2 when I assist.
So Kels is looking nervous, like you guys are going out, and she keeps looking at the
Yeah.
security desk.
Exactly.
And then Phineas is like, "Hurry, we have to meet our parents outside."
You know,
heard
Grandmama will be quite cross if we are late.
Oh no, she would be. That snaps me out of it real quick.
Yes. Okay. So that'll put us at, you said 8. You said what? One more than whatever we needed.
I think.
6 was
Hold
the
on.
difficulty.
Okay, then that'll put us at 7.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they might think it's a little weird you're leaving the museum this early since it hasn't been open very long, but
Yes. Well, one of us
they're not
looks like an
gonna care.
exhibit,
Whatever.
so
They don't care enough. They don't
Yeah.
get paid enough to care that much. So you guys head outside. Tim in the lead, and he just kind of keeps walking until you guys get somewhere into like a small alleyway that you can discuss further.
Okay.
Okay. It's a few blocks away. I know where it is. I say we just sneak in, check the place out. Mother may or may not be there. If not, if she is, we might need to lure her away or just be very sneaky about it, I guess. We'll see when we get there.
All right. That sounds good. Sneaking in.
Kels,
You
if one of
guys-
us needs to be the talker, I suggest that it be you.
Sounds great. Are we just gonna, if she catches us, are we gonna lie to her or just tell her, her dead son is here?
Yeah. Why not tell her the truth?
I think some people might freak out. We're looking at Tim. He might know more, but I'm not going to pry on the whole ghost situation.
It's better not to tell them because then they will just ask you a million questions.
Right, like the ones we're trying to find out in the first place.
Everything but the ones you're trying to find out.
Oh,
They
boy.
have all the questions. They're not answering the questions.
Yes,
All right.
but telling them is better than being arrested
I suppose.
or failing in our mission and being expelled.
We should just not fail.
Yes.
He'll start walking that direction.
Okay.
Is Phineas's assessment that Tim's charm is about as good as Phineas's? Is that accurate?
Tim's is... What's your charm?
D4.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah. Takes one to know one.
Yeah. Here I am, ready to charm everybody with my D6 of charm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You are 150% as charming as we are.
Oh boy.
Aspen. You see Professor Hara do a quick look while you guys are in the next exhibit to kind of look. He looks like he's scoping out people, doing a quick count.
Aspen will go over and ask Professor Hara a question.
What, Aspen?
So, what was the first magical creature that came to North America?
That came to North America?
Yeah,
Or was discovered in North America?
both.
And he'll give you his back. He doesn't know exactly, but he knows, the earlier ones that were discovered and issues with invasive species being brought over. But magical creatures are not necessarily his expertise. Give me a charm roll.
They're Aspen's expertise, though.
But which is why she's asking. Give me a charm roll, difficulty 7.
I got an 8.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he'll humor you. He seems a little annoyed, but you've distracted him for the moment. Brigham and Gustav, same thing. You notice Professor Hart's just kind of looking around. Looks like she's just trying to get a sense of if everyone's here.
Hey, Professor Hart, did they have wands in Salem?
No,
So were they just using...
they didn't realize at the time that they were magical, or if they did, it was very... So think of your nymph-born friends. Strange things happening to them in the nymph world, not understanding what it is. Same thing with Salem.
Most of the people that they burned at the stake at Salem and whatnot, they weren't actual magical users, though, right?
Many of them were nymphs, correct. However, there were some magical born, so unfortunately, some were children, some women, couple men, but they didn't understand their magic enough to be able to defend themselves.
How did they get the witch trials to stop?
And she'll go into a whole thing, and she'll show you the exhibit. She'll probably bring you over to the exhibit of like, oh, see, here's where it talks about that this is how it came, and then there was the issue of Roanoke as well, which wasn't really part of Salem, but there were witch trials going on there, and a wizard found out and kind of laid waste to that entire settlement from overseas, and started figuring this out, that magical children were being born to nymph families and being prosecuted. Give me a charm roll, difficulty 10.
19.
Or no, difficulty 7. Sorry. Oh, okay, yeah. I think you can pick up anyway, your D20. So yeah, you're good. You distract her long enough that she stops kind of paying attention to that. For...
I look over at Gustav and give him a thumbs up.
For the group that's out on the excursion, it takes some time because you're walking there. You obviously don't have your brooms or anything. But you walk the few blocks. It takes you like 45 minutes to get there.
Good Lord.
That how many
It's a
blocks is it away? Is it?
You start to realize he was kind of short selling you.
45 minutes?
Because if he would have told you how far it was, you guys might have been like, oh no, that's too far. So as you guys kept walking, he kept saying, oh no, it's just a couple more blocks, a couple more
We
blocks.
could have gotten in a cab.
I don't have any money for a cab.
Tim
I spend
also
all my
does not
money on
have more money.
t-shirts.
He's nymph-born, so and you don't really know his familial situation aside from him being nymph-born. But yeah, he says he does not have money for a cab.
Yeah.
But you do eventually get there. And he's like, this is it. This is the house. But you do see a sold sign in the front yard.
Oh, dang.
You're like, it's like, what? She's selling him? And you guys go up closer to get a closer look. Like, all right. I know there's a room on the second floor where the window is broken and it's always unlocked. Because the lock is funny, according to Rodney. So if we can get up there, we can get in without having to break anything.
Okay. And there's nothing lower that's unlocked, Rodney? No? Okay.
I mean, we could check.
That's all right.
Are we out of view of the street?
It's in the backyard, yeah.
Okay.
Well, act like we're supposed to be here until we're out of the street, and then I'll do what I do. Second floor is no big deal.
All right. You go into your crow form, but then how are you going to open the window?
I'll come out of it.
Okay.
I assume there's like a little ledge or something like that I can land on.
Yeah, small ledge. You're going to be kind of hanging there, though. I don't know that there's enough for you to, like, squat.
Oh, I see it. When you said broken, I thought like going inside.
The window pane broken.
Yeah.
No, like the
Okay,
lock
yeah.
is broken.
The lock
Sorry.
is broken. Okay.
Maybe you could just magic it open there, Kels. Don't you? Aren't you good at that stuff? Wait.
Yeah, I guess.
We move stuff all the time
Sure.
in our classes.
Yeah, so we just
Yeah,
needs to
you
open a
guys have
little bit,
learned it.
right?
And that's grit, right? Or is it brawn?
Brains? Well, it depends on the type of like what.
When
like,
you
what
want to
you
move
close
an
it.
object, would be brawn.
Brawn.
Ron, I am not good at that kind of spell.
I am also not brawn. I'm not good at any of the spells. This is
I
terrible.
think this one you'll be better than me by
really?
A little bit.
Okay.
Tim will just.
Because he's an upperclassman.
Magic
He
it
should know
open.
how to do this stuff.
He's not an upperclassman.
No.
He's in your year.
Oh, he is?
He's in our year. Otherwise,
He's
he'd be a
born
different
in your
field
year.
trip.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Dur. But Tim is able to do it.
Yep.
Turns out he has more brawn.
Fairly easily, actually.
Oh, good for
Ooh.
him.
So don't run into Tim in a dark alley. Got it. I mean, don't run into me at a dark alley either, but for very different reasons. Okay, now that the window's open.
All right, you are inside on the second floor. Seems like a master bedroom. There are a few boxes around.
I would like to enshroud myself in glamour.
Okay, give me a charm roll.
Picking. It wasn't charm before. It's hiding. Glamour with a U. I'm picking little flecks of shadow out of the corner and covering myself in them to be hidden.
That's pretty complicated magic.
I did it with 5 people before. This isn't even full invisibility.
Yeah.
This is just literally a don't notice me.
Okay. And to be fair, just because you do something once does not mean it could be a fluke. Because if you're doing something very complicated that you've never learned before, it's
I
like,
did
oh,
it before
once, I
because
know how
I've
to
done
do
it before.
perfectly. Yeah. All right, give
Being
me
invisible
a
at Granny's house is useful.
flight roll, difficulty 12.
18.
Okay.
19. because of the +1.
Okay. So you are glamored.
I'm now that thing that you see out of the corner of your eye and you look and it's not there and you get a little bit of a frisson.
All right. What do you do? Kels and Tim are still hiding in
go
the
down
backyard.
go down and open the back door.
Okay. So you just go straight down and go to the back door? All right.
Yeah. Carefully, just to make sure I don't run into any humans.
Okay.
I mean people.
Yeah. Easy enough. All right, you unlock the back door.
Yeah. And does it appear there's anyone in here? Like, do I hear any sounds of people moving around or smell
Give
of
me
coffee?
a brain roll.
All right. Which is also not good for me. Look, I'm good at one thing. Two things. I'm good at protecting people and hiding. Oh, this doesn't get a roll of any kind. 6.
Yeah, you don't see anybody.
Cool. I'm still being cautious.
Okay.
And then click, creak, the door open.
Tim kind of looks at Kels. Assume that was him.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see anything, but it's probably him.
Okay. They kind of look and then go to the back door.
All right. Log in. Because from earlier, he had said this guy had like lived in the basement of the house. Okay. So we'll probably just look at Tim, like, lead the way, kind of.
You do see a lot of boxes. Not everything's packed up, but a lot of stuff have started to be packed up. You guys go downstairs. It's like, okay, the room's this way. He expertly goes, like, he knows where he's going. Down to the basement, and you see everything is in boxes. Okay, well, that might make things more difficult, but okay, let's see if we can find a recent picture, at least, and then some other clues, I guess. So he will just go to the nearest box and start opening it up and looking
Are
through
these boxes labeled, or is this person having a bad time?
It's just labeled Rodney.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I'll pick a box too and start seeing if the top content seems like something that'd be useful, because it's probably mostly the same thing. Unless it seems very haphazard, in which case we probably have to go through the full box.
The group that's at the museum. You guys go to the next exhibit. So it's been a while because it took them a while to trek. So you, the one group that was at the Salem exhibit, you're now in the North American Fauna exhibit. The group that was at the North American Fauna exhibit, you're now magical creature exhibit. Same thing, you see the teachers, like, as people are coming in, as they usher people into the next exhibit, they kind of look like they're getting a count.
As we enter into, as Brigham and I enter into the fauna exhibit, I will ask Professor Hart a question about the last exhibit we were in. Professor Hart?
Yes, Gustav.
After Salem, you said that that the school was founded and everybody started going to the school? But
magical, yes.
Right. I heard that when the school was founded, there was another house, Spiderous.
Spiderous is an existing house.
Serpentis. I mean, sorry. Is that? Do you know how that one was? Why that one went away?
I haven't heard that. That sounds like a rumor. Where did you hear that from?
Well, I think Phineas told me, but he's Phineas. He knows things, and I between you and me, I think that Professor Levi tells him stuff.
Tells him there's secret old houses that were abolished.
Well, I don't know how else he would know.
Okay. Give me a charm roll. Difficulty 7.
I'm going to spend some ATs, put that to an 8.
Okay. You're able to distract her for the time being, at least. So you stop her from her count because you managed to grab her as she's counting people as they come in. So she loses count. Aspen. Same thing.
Excuse me, Professor Hara. I have another
Yes.
question.
Of course.
So say the first creatures discovered came to our world or came to us now.
Give me a charm roll difficulty 11 because you've asked him multiple questions now and you're also not his favorite student.
What do we have? Can I use a major boon?
Yes, you
Yeah.
may. And if you need to use another one, you may. I think
also
SJ
have-
is really looking
You
forward
have
to us
also
using all of.
all the ATs.
Yes, you can one plus one for each AT. I think SJ is looking forward to us using all the boons at the start of the heist, so that way at the end of the heist things go extra bad.
Can I try another major boon?
Yes.
You can use as many major boons as you need to. Just make sure you cash them in.
And by as many, she means we had 3. Now we have 1.
Dice hates me. It's fine.
It's easy.
6.
Sorry, I was trying to get my camera to focus. 6. Okay.
Did you want to add any of your AT to that?
Yeah, to make it fail by less than 5.
It's less than 5. She said she got 8, right?
6.
It was difficulty 11. Oh, 6. Okay. Yeah.
I'll use one to make it a 7.
Okay. So Professor Hara is Aspen, have you even tried reading the exhibits before asking me a question? I'm more than happy to answer your questions, but please look at the exhibits first before you ask me a question that is answered on the actual exhibits that you are here to view as part of the field trip.
Okay.
Okay. More than happy to answer questions if you have them afterwards, but I'm busy right now. And he goes, start counting again. Cool. He finishes his count. He's like, we are missing somebody. Who are we missing? And he pulls out the paper out of his pocket to start looking.
Is Aspen doing anything?
Probably panicking inside.
If only.
You
If
have the transfiguration of the bracelet. You were wearing that.
yeah.
So do I just like break it apart and then it goes boom? Throw it on the ground, it goes boom.
You can try to do that. Typically, you have to untransfigure something once it's transfigured, but
Maybe it'll just break. Who knows? Or you'll throw a bracelet at the ground and he'll look at you funny.
Aspen will throw the bracelet on the ground and then duck behind something.
okay. Luckily, the transfiguration on that one, I think, was unstable, right? That one was like a barely passed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By like only a
12.
couple. Okay, so you smash it on the ground and run, and Professor Hara is like, what is she? And then you hear the loud snap of all of them snapping at once, and the smell start to fill the room. And all the students that were in there are like, start to panic and leave the room. Where do you go, Aspen?
To the bathroom.
Yeah,
Boys' bathroom.
It doesn't matter. One of them.
to the closest bathroom she can find.
Okay, there is a men's bathroom.
Doesn't have to be a men's bathroom. Typically, there's a women's
one
bathroom
a
right
little
near
bit
the men's.
down the hall.
Go to the women's one.
There you go.
Okay. You go to the women's bathroom. Cool. You hear yelling and chaos ensuing in the background while you were hiding in a stall. As Professor Hara tries to wrangle everyone back up. Group that's in the house. Why don't you guys just give me a straight D20 roll?
Each.
Each, yeah.
Ooh, 18 on the die.
I got a 15.
Okay. Phineas, you find looking through the items a very ornate red mask.
Mm.
And then, Kells, you are able to find an old yearbook of his. So the same one you guys checked out, except this one has signatures and stuff in it. And then, yeah, Tim is able to find, let's see. Oh, 18. Okay, so Tim is able to find a more recent photo.
Cool. We've been gone a very long time. Should we get back?
Been gone. Yeah, we'll say you've been in the house for like 30-ish minutes.
Yeah.
Not too long. Just quickly rifling through some boxes. He's like, we haven't found anything conclusive.
This helpful?
No, not particularly. A yearbook. We already have a yearbook.
Well,
said-
this one's signed.
Yes.
Just look through any particular inscriptions that are. not
He
just the-
closes the book and throws it in the box. He's like, this isn't helpful. I can get all this information from Rodney. We need other stuff.
What stuff?
I don't know. Other clues. Things of what he was doing. Maybe some letters or something.
You think he wouldn't have a friend that was important to him in the yearbook from school days? Can he
Yes,
tell you
but
that?
that doesn't. That's not helpful because we're trying to figure out things. He's lost his memory of recent events leading up to his death. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Then ask him what the creepy red mask is for.
It's an old Halloween costume.
What does he look like now?
Like he shows the picture
Mhm.
that he has, yeah. And he'll tuck it into like, his jacket. You'll do. You guys hear a car, or not a car, a person jiggling the doorknob as they seem to be entering the home.
I think either we're hiding or we gotta go.
Fine. You guys will.
I'm gonna pick up that yearbook.
Stealing stuff.
What are you doing? You don't steal the stuff.
Well, you're taking the photograph, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's a photograph, not an entire book. That could be very sentimental to the mother.
Yeah. That's why it was in the bottom of a box.
Okay.
Did
you put it back?
I'm gonna say Kels is smart and was like, don't just leave stuff everywhere. We might have to get out of here at any moment. So we've been repacking boxes as we go.
Emma's not been doing that. He's just been looking through stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are leaving?
I mean, otherwise we're trapped in a basement with a lady up there. If Tim thinks we need more info, we can probably stay down here, but we're more likely to get caught.
I mean, either way, even if you leave right now, you'll probably have to wait for her to be in a room
Right.
to like sneak back either out the back door or window or whatever.
So I guess we can just keep searching through boxes, but quietly while we wait to leave.
And then she comes down here and we have to explain things to her. Which
Yeah,
means
we're
you have
about
to tell her why we're here.
We're about to.
No, just ignore that. That's in chat. Just ignore that. That's something else happening. Don't worry.
Right.
Okay, so you guys stay down there and look through some other stuff quietly. Phineas, watch the door. And you guys keep looking through some stuff. Pretty unremarkable stuff, to be honest. You do find his old like school jacket, just random bits and bobs, nothing super fancy. Give me another just straight D20 roll.
10.
10. Okay. Yeah, just some real random stuff. Let's see. You do find a box of letters that you were looking for. Some are old, some are new. When Tim sees you find it, he quickly grabs it to look through it himself. Looks through to see, doesn't see one that he's looking for or any that are recent enough that Rodney doesn't already know about. So then he quickly just closes it, shoves it back in a box. We will say when you give me a brains roll real quick.
Yeah. A 6.
But you're so brainy.
I know. It turns out it swings.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You don't notice anything on the letters before he takes the box. Hespin. Some time has passed. Are you still in the bathroom?
I think if it got quiet for a decent amount of time, she would open the door slightly and poke her head out.
Okay. You're kind of in the back room of one of, like, you're not in like the main lobby area or anything, so you're in just a random bathroom. But Brigham and Gustav, commotion happened. Everyone got called into the lobby because of what just happened. So they're trying to get accountability of all the kids because a bunch from Professor Horror's group ran off, so they might have gone to other groups and stuff or wherever. So they're trying to get 100% accountability of everybody now.
Gustav, this might be a good time for the snake.
You have a little bit of time because Professor Hara is talking to the other group leaders at the moment.
I shall pull out the stake. Brigham, would you like to try and disenchant it, or should I?
You can do it. It's not very stable anyway. Is it still transfigured?
Yeah. You have the snake one, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a charm roll difficulty. Actually, you can have it because it'll be half. So, yeah. You can easily enough untransfigure it.
Okay, there we go. Do we know exactly what this thing does?
You're about to find out.
Okay, aim it toward the group. I mean, we're trying to cause chaos
It
here.
fires poison darts at everything in range. You murder half the kids.
We want to set it off behind the backs of students so that the teachers can't see as they're looking out into the crowd, right? So if we throw it into the lobby and set it off there.
Okay. Give me a light roll because you're trying to be sneaky and not have anybody see you do it. You'll still be able to do it, but it's a matter of people see you do it. Give me a flight roll difficulty 11.
I got a 14.
Perfect. Cool. So only one person notices you, but it's Mojo, and he has a huge smile on his face as he sees you essentially let this thing go. What it does is it just takes off, starts snaking around people's students' feet, who start, freaking out, and it's just screaming bloody murder, like to the point people have to cover their ears. It is that loud. And then you hear another scream join because Mojo has released his as well.
It must have come from the exhibit with all the animals in it, the magical beast exhibit.
No one can hear you
What?
over the
Can't hear you.
Cool. So other group, what are y'all doing?
Rifling faster.
Okay. You've pretty
'Cause
much
Tim
gone
doesn't-
through.
Yeah, Tim doesn't seem that we haven't really found anything that seemed useful or
Yeah.
helpful.
Let's see. Give me another flat D20.
10, says my dice.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get through all the rest of the boxes. You don't fully go through all of them because sometimes it's clear that, okay, this is just clothes, this is just whatever. But you don't find anything significant or anything that would scream, oh, this is a clue to this guy's death. So, defeated, Tim is like, all right, I guess let's go back.
Okay. And we haven't heard much movement upstairs. I guess we should listen now to see if we can hear anything.
Like you heard some stuff in the kitchen a little bit because Phineas has been watching the door and kind of listening, so probably heard them messing around in the kitchen a bit and living room, and then you hear them go upstairs.
Then
You guys now give me a flight roll difficulty 9.
I'll take half.
With adversity tokens, I can get up to 9.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you guys managed to sneak out, close the door very softly, and then go out the back. And luckily she's not looking out the window or anything to see you guys hustle out the backyard. All right, so you guys have the recent photo, but then left everything else there, correct?
I have the yearbook.
Oh, you kept the yearbook.
Yeah. In the jacket.
Okay. Cool. All right, so you guys start to head back.
All right. And Kel's like, all right, it's jogging time, everybody. We've been gone for a while. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I don't jog.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
It'll be more suspicious if we show up all sweaty.
I think we're going to be sweaty either way. Any rate.
Okay, so you guys go off, get back. Aspen, Gustav, Brigham.
I am going to send Poe flitting ahead to do a little bit of reconnaissance, let us know what's going on, and then come back to us so that we can have some idea of what's been happening. Actually, I'll have Poe go and no, I'll just go ask him to, because I was going to say I could ask him to go find Aspen, but he's not really an animal, so she may not be able to speak to him. So, anyway.
Right. In the chaos, Rudy ends up getting like trampled over. So, Professor Victus takes him to the small little aid station. But meanwhile, the other instructors are able to get the snakes subdued and are finally like, everybody line up in your group right now. They're very upset. And of course, they first look at Mojo, but Professor Hara is, where is Aspen, Wisteria, Everhart? Everyone's just like looking around, like kind of murmuring to themselves, like, quiet. They are very upset that you guys have caused this scene in this museum. So you guys are on lockdown, and they start counting once again to get accountability of everybody. Because once again, other people have run off.
Professor?
Which professor are you asking?
Professor Hart,
Okay.
our group leader. I think
Yes,
when the snakes went off, Kels ran to a restroom. She was rather scared.
Okay. Let me check. Is that the only person we're missing? She'll check. Okay. I'm gonna go check the women's restrooms. You guys stay here. And she will go start to look in the women's restrooms for any female students that might have rushed out. Phineas, your group. Obviously, Aspen isn't there to cover for you now. So they notice, like, okay, Phineas is gone. They notice, let's see, who was in Tim's group again? Oh, right, Mojo. Bye. Okay. Cool. So, Professor Hara has taken over accountability of Professor Victus's group as well, because he's off with Rudy. And then, so they're trying to count up everybody, and Professor Vegas notices Tim is missing. Other people are there's a couple other people missing too, not just you guys. So, because they also like went to bathrooms or other exhibits to get away from the chaos. an announcement comes over throughout the museum that all Artemis Academy students are to wait and line up outside. So if anyone is in the museum, they should be coming out the front entrance to line up. Aspen, you hear that announcement as well. So I don't know if you're sticking to the bathroom or staying in there. But
Probably staying until they drag me out.
okay.
Working on that story.
Yeah. Cool. So eventually Professor Hart reaches your bathroom. It's like, are any Artemis students in here? Kels? Aspen?
Oh,
Did you just say no?
yes.
Aspen, honey, come out.
Okay. She goes over.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened?
So we were in the magical creature exhibit, and for a second I saw this like really scary thing in the background, and it scared me, and so I jumped and ran, and I don't know, I guess I farted really badly or something. I don't know.
Okay, well, Professor Hara saw what you did. You did it in the middle of the exhibit in front of everyone. So unfortunately, I don't believe you.
Hold on. Pause.
Why don't we?
Give Sin a chance to read chat.
I don't know, Aspen can't read chat.
But Sin can.
Yeah. She's like, why don't we go back to the group?
Okay.
She will escort you to the front. All right. They have all the students that were missing are back except for Kels, Phineas, and Tim. They've started checking bathrooms and such, looking, and cannot seem to find you guys.
Professor Hara, I had a question. Since I'm in Professor Hart's group and she's gone off to check the bathrooms,
Yes.
when I go to NMP museums, there are sometimes interactive exhibits, and there were a lot of animals in the exhibits today. Were those smells that in the museum?
No, this was not part of the museum. This was a prank done by students.
Oh, I was going to say it didn't smell very good. I wasn't sure that it would be a very good interactive exhibit.
I would say it's not. Let's see. Poe returns to you, Phineas, and tells you about kind of what's going on. That all the students are lined up outside. There's announcements happening over the museum asking all the Artemis students to meet outside.
Yeah, we went out the back door and have walked our way around the building.
Everyone give me a brains roll. Phineas, give me 2.
Everyone
One
is
for you,
in
one for
Phineas's
you and
group.
one for Poe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am panicking with a 3.
Got a 5 for me. And
I
a
got
7
19.
for Poe.
Okay. You don't see anything. You guys keep going. Keep walking back to the museum.
Poe should have a higher brains than me. But that's fine.
Oh, right. Okay, re-roll with a d10. Wait, what is your brains? Oh,
D8
d8. Okay.
at 8.
Okay. Yeah, you guys just keep walking. Poe, we'll say just because he's a bird as well, does notice a a large bird of prey following you guys, or it seems like it's been circling. And this is not its native habitat, so it's a little weird.
Oh, wait. There's a bird tailing us? What's his mom's familiar?
Was his mother magical?
Yeah. Yeah, his mom is magical.
What was her familiar?
It's not that bird.
Hmm.
You didn't have that as a... Okay.
So it's someone
No?
else's familiar or something else. Interesting. Well, that's the
It's not
most
one of the
useful.
teachers, is it?
Oh, yeah. Do we know any teachers that have a hawk or whatever?
You know one that can transfigure into one.
Who?
Professor Victus.
Shit.
He's a Harris Hawk Avitus.
And is that a Harris
no.
hawk?
It is. Maybe it's kind of hard to tell from down here.
Well,
It's
stop
got
looking
really
at it.
great eyesight.
Look, so here's the
From
deal.
miles away.
I propose that we look. I know some places I can put some word out. I know a lovely gingerbread house out in the woods that's not currently being lived in, and we can just go live there.
No, we just go to the plan where we're caught and Tim says he was possessed. Because technically he kind of is a little bit.
No, I can't. It's got to be one of you guys.
One of us possessed?
Yeah.
Why?
Like right now? Like just fake?
Just pretend you were possessed and that you don't remember anything that happened.
Looks at Phineas, who already has memory problems.
I don't know. I think it should be Kels. It's more believable that Phineas wouldn't. Yeah, it's more believable that if this happened, Kels would go to a teacher than Phineas.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Maybe there was
Yeah.
a vision, and it took you over.
They don't exactly work like that, but
Who knows?
right, I was possessed. That's the story. And we're not looking at the sky anymore.
I mean, you don't want to be seen constantly looking at the sky.
Yeah.
How far away are
Not looking
we?
at the sky.
You guys are coming up on it,
Okay.
so you're close.
Well, we'll try the. We ran off. We'll try the Kels is afraid of snakes. Well, we don't know that yet. Well, we know about the snakes, so we'll try Kels is afraid of snakes, and we had to go get her. And if that doesn't work,
No, you can't switch it. It was possessed the whole time. We've been gone for a while.
all right.
Possessed the whole time. You told him to cover for me. You don't question why our friends had a bunch of stuff to mess up the field trip. Unrelated.
You guys walk up and see the group, and then the couple teachers that are there, Professor Figgis and Professor as you guys walk up, Professor Hart walks out with Aspen, who looks very guilty and in trouble. And then Professor Figgis, Professor Hara, they're relieved to see you guys walking up because you were unaccounted for previously. That said, Professor Hara is a bit upset. It's like, where were you?
Apparently I got possessed by a ghost.
Tim will be like, Professor, can we
Oh, yeah.
talk somewhere else? He's like, okay. And he'll take Tim to go talk into a different corner. Professor, you do see the hawk come down and then turn into transfigured to Professor Figgis, or Professor Victus, behind you two. have a nice trip, you two?
Not particularly.
No, not exactly.
Okay, why don't you two come with me and tell me what happened?
Okay.
So he'll take you guys to the side. Like, all right, let's hear it.
There appear to be supernatural goings on, interfering with students.
I see. How so, from your perspective?
Perhaps spirits who have something unresolved from their prior lives and are looking to use students as a way to close whatever chapter is keeping them here. Who are willing to behave in the most unpleasant ways in order to impose their will on the living.
I see. So you are claiming when did this first start happening? Because you were with us at the beginning of the field trip.
Yeah.
So you are saying you were possessed by ghosts? Is that the story?
Apparently I was. I don't remember anything that happened. I was at the museum.
Okay.
And then we weren't at the museum.
And Phineas, how did you get involved? Because you were in a different group, correct?
Yes. Well, I was skulking in the shadows as I usually do. And, as I recall, Tim needed help.
Okay. And you guys stopped to pick up t-shirts first?
Well,
Actually, I kind of wanted to get a t-shirt, so I had us go there first, and that's where it happened.
Okay, so you snuck off to the gift shop from your group to go get a t-shirt.
Yeah, it was just gonna be quick.
And yourself and Tim also felt the need to buy the same t-shirt.
They're different colors.
Right. All right. You guys give me charm rolls.
oh God. Like, why even do this? Why even go through the rigmarole?
Okay. Well, who wants the reroll? I rolled a 1.
Well, hold on. Mine exploded.
Ooh, that's nice. I'll just use a major boon because that's not going anywhere. Ooh, but this one exploded.
11.
I also got
Okay.
11.
Okay. It's like, all right, fair enough. You don't remember anything after the gift shop. And Phineas, you were skulking in corners, which also not something you should be doing away from the group. You should have stayed with the group the entire time.
Oh, I was most distracted by the Salem exhibit.
I see.
I was
Okay.
looking for any signs that, well, when did hags come over?
It's possible they were already here.
Maybe. It just reminded me all the stories of torture and death and things. And then there was that dunking thing where everyone, if you sink, you're innocent. So I'm clearly not a witch because I sink like a stone in water.
Okay. We will talk about this when we get back to the school. For now, please put back on your uniforms
Yes.
and for at least the jackets. I'll talk to the gift shop, see if they saw what happened to Kel, since you don't remember it. And he will walk off.
Within earshot, as he's leaving, I'll say to Kels, are you certain that you weren't under some strange influence when you wanted to buy the shirt? These are very odd.
I don't know.
Okay. Aspen. Professor Hara comes
Minus
back with
1,000 house
Tim.
points.
sees you, points at you very pointedly.
Aspen will go over.
What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking anything, sir. I found the bracelet on the ground after you told me to go do reading on the exhibit. I picked it up thinking it was someone's, and then there was like this spider on it, and I'm scared of spiders, so I instinctively dropped it and ran off because I'm scared of spiders, and I don't know what happened after that.
Give me a charm roll. Difficulty 15.
And remember, our results should have been one higher as well, and your results should be one higher because we all have the innocent trait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I added that in for my.
Oh, I did not.
Okay.
Use all the boons. Every one of them.
Also, keep in mind you told Professor Hart a very different story.
Not that different. Saw something scary.
35.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
35.
35.
How many times did it explode?
My D12 exploded twice, and then it landed on a 10.
Oh my
Plus
god.
1.
Booyah.
Okay. So he's just like, why did you go and hide in the bathroom for so long when they were calling you and calling people to come to the front of the museum?
Because I was scared. I didn't know what was going on, and my papa always told me that when you're lost and you don't know where to go, stay put until an adult comes to find you.
Good advice.
Okay. We will talk about this when we get back to the school.
10 house points to Aspen for following proper safety protocols.
We are just going to break for lunch. It's, yeah. So they get everybody settled back into their groups, get a proper accountability, everyone. Everyone's here. Everyone's kind of gossiping about what happened and what was going on. Professor Hara does ask, like, what about the snakes? Was that you?
No, sir.
All right.
And she has a perfect alibi for the snakes because she was in the bathroom. Haha. Crime complete.
You guys do get a stern talking to from all the teachers with you guys lined up of don't pick up things that aren't yours that are on the floor. Super unprofessional and unappreciative, all this blah blah blah, just scolding you guys because of the screaming snakes incident and that they're gonna figure out who did it. And not to go off on your own. If something happens, you need to tell an instructor, all this, that, because multiple things all happened at once and they're very upset with your year overall right now. They're not impressed with your class. So,
Are we the problem class? The ones that teachers dread every year? Can't wait till they graduate out of the system? Maybe.
for Professor Hara, for sure. So,
Is he going to retire when we're done? Is that what's going to happen?
we'll see. Miss Greco is already retiring at the end of the semester.
Maybe
another one.
Professor Hara can be my new counselor.
Absolutely not. He's definitely not qualified. So you guys break for lunch. You guys go to this essentially this kind of sandwich shop place that they already put in orders ahead, so they're pre-made, they're easy to make, easy to keep. So you guys have these super long picnic tables that you sit at and are able to eat lunch. You don't have to sit in your groups for lunch.
Well, did you see anything? I mean, I presume the teachers were all at the other end discussing their students.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're in a group talking, and some much more annoyed and animated than others.
I wonder who.
Well,
So that went well. I hope it went well on
it
your
appears
end.
it appears that supernatural forces are still making our lives difficult. Still leading us on wild goose chases. The good news is that this time we didn't discover one of our students poisoned or whatever happened, and there wasn't a wizard fight out in the woods, so I suppose it was better than last time. But between that and the attempted murder in the coach and spirits or something else trying to kill Kells on her broom, resulting in it being broken, and whatever happened here today, I don't know, perhaps, Gustav, we should talk to Professor Ames. It appears that we are clearly the targets of supernatural intervention. Because Phineas doesn't trust that one of the teachers hasn't got some sort of audicularis charm going in and listening in on what everyone's saying.
Yeah, Kels will be yeah, I was possessed by a ghost. Apparently, we went away from the museum.
That's where you went.
It kept speaking about solving its own death. But as much as we inquired, we weren't able to find any useful information that would let us know more about the spirit or how it died, unfortunately.
Phineas.
Yes.
Are you absolutely certain that your gran sent you to this school because she loves you? And it wasn't just to get out of the blast zone when her curse took effect?
No, I don't think. I mean, love is a very strange word. Who knows what it actually means? But I don't think she has any direct ill wishes toward me. But who knows? I do think she sent me here for a reason. But I think that reason probably has more to do with, I don't know, her desire to reckon old scores, bring things out of the past into the light of day. Perhaps return the school to its old glory the way that she knew it. Who knows? But she has a plan. That's certain.
Well, that's not ominous at all, Phineas.
Sky will kind of speak up and is like, "But are you on board with this plan?"
I don't know what it is. She's oh so clever. There's no way of knowing. Perhaps she simply wanted to keep me away from whatever it is I'm not supposed to. What was I saying?
Oh, shoot. I marked down in my memory chart about what just happened. You're talking about your grandma's evil plans.
Oh, I have no idea what they are. They're probably evil, though.
Yeah, I think so. Any rate, when I was
Have you
possessed by
ever thought of stopping your grandma?
Well,
Like your-
how?
I don't know, but you guys your whole group seems all gung-ho about fighting evil and injustice or whatever, but then when it comes to your granny, you're just like, yeah, she just does whatever, it's cool.
Well, she's incredibly powerful. And she's also
in
supposedly locked away in prison, so she's been stopped, in theory.
Yeah, she's in jail.
Allegedly.
Plus, if her plan is foiled or comes to completion, then Phineas might transfer away and go back to live with her, and then he is our friend.
I don't.
Would you go back to live with her?
I don't think so. But I don't know. I just
I
realized
don't think anyone would let you.
Well,
No, I'm saying if they let him, would you go back with your grandma? Who isn't really your grandma?
Well, probably not.
Probably.
Well, I don't know. I only just realized that this isn't going to continue the way it is forever. It's like there's winter break and then there's summer break. And then in 4 short years, there's college and then there's something after college. I have no idea how any of that works.
It's joining the workforce.
But what would I do?
Being a productive member of society. I think you would be a scary clown. Like, you know, if you need kids to be scared, but safely. Work in a haunted house?
You'd be a cool life coach.
You're very good at invisibility spells, so perhaps you would be the person who makes the weatherman invisible. The screen behind the weatherman invisible.
Maybe.
Maybe you could be like Spin It or something.
What's that?
The supernatural interdiction team. So what Professor Levi did before he came here.
Oh, yes. There's a different word for them. Well, Granny's word.
Oh.
Insufferable meddlers who don't know what they're up against.
I mean, I feel like that describes you to a T, Phineas.
That's true. I do like meddling. So you're saying that there's a potential professional career in meddling full time?
Yeah, I mean...
And you can get paid to do it.
You just need to keep up your grades and stuff. Be good at the kind of magic you're already kind of good at.
Oh, excellent.
And then it's just training.
Then that sounds like a really good idea. Oh, yes. Childhood exposure to, shall we say, unpleasant influences could be turned to a professional advantage. I like that. I can talk to Professor Levi about it.
What about you, Aspen? Are you going to work at a sanctuary with your sister?
Yeah, I'd like to. If they don't disown me.
Why would they disown you, Aspen?
Because I'm causing a lot of trouble here.
Well, sorry, did the two of us, we just heard the after lecture about being...
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys don't actually fully know what occurred. Because Poe reported back about stuff that was happening at the moment, but he wasn't there for the actual Aspen taking off the bracelet and throwing it onto the ground in front of everybody.
And then running
like
away.
a ninja.
She knew
Like a ninja with a smoke bomb. Poof. You can't see me.
In that case, well, I mean, we can talk later, but I mean, I've always heard that the first year of any new school is one of the hardest, and that nothing really matters for the transcripts until at least junior year.
Tell that to my prefect, who is mad at me for having negative house points.
Yeah, I guess you should really help out with Creature Club a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Sounds like a good plan.
Because there's plenty of time to get house points back. So Aspen is going to work in the sanctuary, so taking a role in the family business. Kels will be a reporter.
A reporter?
Yes.
I mean, maybe.
Well, you have strong investigative skills. You're a good writer, and you can see the news before it happens.
Huh.
Brigham is clearly going to be a professional jock. Gustav, what do you think your career will be?
Oh, I don't know.
Video
I'm
game
not very-
designer.
Do they have magical video games?
No. Not yet.
Yes, you can be a trailblazer. Yes, you can combine the nymph and the magical desire for immersive entertainment into a hybrid game experience.
I could take films that we've seen in film club and make them VR. VR is sort of like you're there, so it's a bit like a stage play instead of a movie.
That you can
Maybe.
walk around in.
Ooh, could you do that with Carrie?
Maybe.
Especially the kitchen scene. I like that one.
I will ask, what's Carrie?
It's a wonderful story about a beautiful, smart young woman who is put upon by the world, and then she gets her just revenge.
Oh, it's a movie?
It's a horror movie.
I wouldn't say
Oh.
that. I think it's rather uplifting.
I know you wouldn't say that, Phineas, but that doesn't change its genre.
I think the fake vampire smooching all the time is, no offense, Sai, more horrifying.
Yeah.
I think it is a movie about social justice.
Is this a nymph movie?
Oh, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So it's called Carrie?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have it?
Apparently.
Yeah, we must have a copy somewhere that someone bootlegged because Phineas watched it somehow. So
Oh, he watched it while he was here?
Yeah.
I don't know, did he? Yeah.
I've never seen a movie
Oh, I
before I got here.
Who did you watch it with? Because
I don't know.
you mentioned it like the first movie club that it was
I don't know.
something you'd watched and
Who
suggested it.
knows? Maybe he just dreamed it.
Phineas, did the person who gave you the movie have plans for the full ball? Think very carefully about this.
Oh, I don't know. Well, now that you mention it, I have no idea. Who knows?
Phineas has forgotten where he got this movie from, but he has it, which feels like it's in character.
Yeah, I just marked that down in the memory book.
Yep. The memory book, mark it down, has the movie Carrie, bootleg copy, no knowledge of where it came from.
Cool. You do have certain people kind of like coming up to you guys and being like, hey, what happened? So like Mateo is like, hey, are you guys okay? What happened?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to cut Phineas off before he does the spiel about supernatural powers, etc., and say, I got possessed by a ghost. It made us walk like 45 minutes away, which was really far.
That makes sense. And he kind of looks over at Tim, then back at you guys. Gotcha.
Have you seen Rudy? Is he okay?
Yeah, I think he's fine. I assume so. I think they sent him back to school though.
Poor guy. Being
Yeah, some of you guys missed it, but like they set off these screaming snakes into the crowd of students after they called us all into the lobby, and it was just chaos.
Oh, man.
It was loud, and it was just.
It was crazy loud.
It was.
But yeah, poor Rudy got like trampled. So Aspen, I heard you were in the men's bathroom.
It was the woman's bathroom.
Oh, okay. Might want to set that story straight because people are already saying it was the men's room.
Really? Oh my.
I mean, to be fair, that was your first instinct, but that's fine.
True.
Cool. So, you guys finish up lunch. They divide you back into your groups. They are very strict this time. Like, you will not leave the group if you, even if it's to so much as go to the bathroom. You will ask your group leader, and they're gonna have eyes on everybody doing constant counts now. So you guys divide back up, go back into your groups.
Kels,
Unfortunately, no one can go into the Salem exhibit now.
Oh,
Kels, I was a little nervous, but I did try and take notes for you.
Oh, thanks. I'll review and collate them when we're back at school.
What group is K2 in?
He is in the same group as. He was in Professor Victus's group. Rudy's former group.
Yeah.
But you do see him walking with another kid who is blind. And you see him with like a seeing eye dog, except the dog doesn't have eyes. And it's not a dog per se. It looks very dog-like, but it's definitely not a dog.
That's the kid from my house whose older brother's protective. That one?
Yeah.
is it a pie wacket? The creature.
I don't know what that is.
It's a weird fake creature with strange senses.
No.
I want to pet the puppy, but I know it's on duty, so I won't.
There you go.
Just pet the human instead.
Nope.
Mush his
Still
face.
wrong.
But you do see 2K actually talking to him. Like, obviously, he can't just do shrugs and stuff because he won't be able to see it. So he has to talk in that situation.
Hey, is that kid in his transfiguration class?
Good question for 2K.
Yeah, isn't it? Later.
All right, so you guys break up into your groups again. Obviously, you can't do the Salem exhibit anymore because it just smells way too bad in there because it was it wasn't just one dung snap, it was a ton of them. It's going to take a while to get the smell out. Surprisingly enough, they do let you guys still stay in the museum and be able to continue the field trip.
I'm also surprised that the whole
increased
school...
supervision. They as students, they do a pat down to make sure you guys don't have anything else crazy on you. Phineas, they find the yearbook. Like, what is this?
It's a yearbook.
Why are you carrying a random yearbook?
I've been studying the history of the various different houses at school. My granny told me about a house that she belonged to that isn't one of the current ones. So I've been going through them all. I wasn't
The same five.
I wasn't certain how boring this would be, to be honest. It's been quite interesting. Supernatural interference aside. Are we not allowed to bring books?
Okay.
I don't want to break the rules.
No, it's just it would be better if you were focused on the task at hand and not.
I barely glanced at it.
Okay. I don't know why you brought it then. It just seems like something to lose. But
it's true, I probably shouldn't have it at all, should I?
Maybe not here. It's just a strange thing to bring on a field trip.
Well.
But he just kind of he waves off. It's like, okay, you're
So
quirky. Yeah. So, let's see. Professor Figus's group. Oh, you guys are in Professor Vegas's group, so you're fine. And then, so Professor Hara is watching you like a hawk Aspen. He's not taking his eyes off of you now. So there's that. Professor Hart's group. She's still fine with you guys. Better Gustav and Kels. She has to check in on you, Kels. She's like, "Hey, are you alright? I heard what happened. I know that can be. I'm sure that was jarring. Are you okay? Do you need to go back or anything? Or are you fine to continue the trip?"
I'll be fine on the trip.
Okay. Let me know. You were possessed for a bit of time, and that can take a lot out of the person, so.
It was good to have a break at lunch.
Okay. Just let me know if you feel nauseous or anything. That can be a side effect. Nothing crazy happens, so let's see.
I don't know if it will work if you reply to a message.
No, it doesn't. It's fine. Do you guys do anything?
Dare you? Well, yeah. Now we run for cover.
I'm taking.
Well, what do you guys?
for
You guys have to choose an exhibit to write your project on. So, is there a specific exhibit you guys choose?
Aspen's doing the magical creature one.
I think I am too.
I'm doing the wands.
What are the ones that we see in the afternoon?
Just random things like the government. There's the American fauna. There's the North American creatures. Obviously, Salem got kind of ruined. There's the one on Artemis itself.
Oh.
Random museum things. If there's something you specifically want to choose, magical sports, North American magical sports.
Well, there's
Brag bag
Brickens.
is very popular over here versus overseas.
2 questions.
Yeah.
One, is the North American creature exhibit exclusively magical creatures, or are there supernatural creatures as well?
Little of both. So there is magical creatures, but there is a small section on supernatural creatures. But there is better museums for that, as far as going more in depth on.
Does
on
anything happen when Phineas goes and looks at the supernatural creature exhibit?
That's a good question. Let's see. Give me a flat d20 roll.
Is that 12?
Okay. Who else is in your group again?
Aspen?
Right? Yeah. Okay. Aspen, you notice when Phineas is looking towards the supernatural creature stuff and reading through one of the little binders sections, that he just passes out.
Aspen will try very hard to catch him before he hits the ground. And then she will look over to Professor Hara and call out Professor.
Give me a grit roll. Difficulty 5. So I assume you were probably near him.
Rolls a 1, punches me in the face, gets sent to jail.
It's an 11.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you see him kind of like start to lose it and then pass out, and you quickly grab him up. And Professor Hara comes by and is like, "What happened? What'd you do to him? What happened?"
I did not do anything, I promise. I noticed that he was acting like a little faintlish. I noticed things from animals at the sanctuary do the same thing sometimes when they're malnourished or whatever. And then like he started to fall, and so I had to catch him because he's my friend and I don't want him to hurt himself.
Okay, Phineas, are you okay? Are you all right?
I'm fine. Why do you ask?
So you've lost consciousness there for a second.
Did I?
You,
Listen,
you
that's
did.
sinister.
Are you feeling okay? You ate lunch, correct?
I did. I think so.
Okay, are you feeling okay?
I feel fine.
All right. Okay, just watch him. Make sure he's. Why don't you go sit down for a bit, Phineas?
Oh, all right.
Okay. And Aspen, when he passed out, you guys were looking at you guys are in the magical creature exhibit, but there's like a other than magical creatures, so it's like supernatural creatures, fae, types of spirits, ghosts, whatever, all this stuff, all kinds of whatever, just everything in the other category.
Aspen will take notes on everything and like put stars around the stuff of where Phineas was to make a note of, to go back to the group to be like, hey, Phineas passed out looking at these types of stuff. But like she'll also take notes of everything else too, but stars specifically around the stuff that affect Phineas.
All right. All right. So Phineas, you're doing magical creatures. Aspen, magical creatures. Wands. Gustav, what did you say you were doing yours on?
Well, when we went to the Salem exhibit, it hadn't been ruined yet, so I might do mine on Mart if that's possible.
Yeah. Originally, you guys were going to have free time at the end of the day to go back to whatever exhibit you wanted to check out, but obviously that's out of the question now. They want to make sure everybody has accountability now. So you guys will probably, once you're done going through as a group, leave the museum. Kels, what did you say you were doing yours on?
I think Kels would probably do magical creatures as well, because she's guessing that Aspen would do that. And it sounded at lunch like Aspen had a rough time of it from the scolding that was happening, so that way they can work together.
Okay. Cool. Good to know. Just make sure you guys don't do anything too crazy similar. It is an individual project. All right. So you guys start to head back. They start ushering people out. People have a chance to buy something from the gift shop if they want. Or something else if they've already bought something. Do any of the rest of you want to buy anything from the gift shop? It's just your standard, museum trinkets and stuff. Okay. So you go out, go into the Dordorian, and end up back into the front of the school. Definitely earlier than everybody else. Like the other years are not back yet. Because you guys came back a bit early. Aspen, Kels, and Phineas. They're going to speak more with you about the events that occurred.
Not Tim. Instigator
and
Tim.
Tim, but
Okay.
I'm talking about your group specifically.
Yes, okay.
he sees specifically. But they're under the assumption that, well, not the assumption, people aren't supposed to know what Tim can do. So they try to speak to him separately and then figure out from your side what you know. A bunch of you are taken back, go speak with you. Aspen. So you're first with the group of instructors with the superintendent. And they ask, so Professor Hart is there, Professor Hara, and the superintendent, and they want you to give your story again.
Repeat it word for word. Just
So I was asking Professor Hara a question, and then he told me to go read the stuff first and then ask questions if it hasn't been answered. So I went to go read the stuff. I noticed that there was a bracelet on the ground, and I thought it was probably someone's, and I was going to pick it up and show it to a professor because I didn't want someone to step on it and break it. So I picked it up, and then I noticed that there was a spider on it, and I'm very scared of spiders, so instinctively, in my fear, I dropped it and ran away from the spider and ran all the way to a woman's bathroom and hid there until Professor Hart came, because even with all the stuff going on, I was always told as a child to stay where you were if you were lost or didn't know where you were. And when I looked out the bathroom, I didn't know where I was, so I stayed where I was until an adult came to find me, which was Professor Hart.
Okay, well, and Professor Hara speaks up, says, I was with you when these events occurred, and you were already wearing the bracelet. You took it off and threw it onto the ground, not picked it up from the ground.
it was
Saw a spider
it was
and
in a
threw it down.
pocket. To be clear.
Right, but she didn't pick it up off the ground, see a spider, and throw it down. Care to explain that, Aspen?
It I didn't know it was there. It fell out, I guess, and then I picked it up again and then dropped it again.
It fell out of your pocket, and you dropped it, and then picked it up and dropped it again?
Yeah, because I saw a spider.
Okay, that still doesn't explain what I just said, which is not seeing you pick it up in the first place, seeing you pull it from your pocket and throw it on the ground.
There was so much happening. I guess my memory got jumbled up. Maybe I did pull it from my pocket, and I guess like fur from creatures, because we had a familiar contest the other day. Maybe the little fur hair was stuck in the pocket, came out, it looked like a spider, and I got scared over nothing and then dropped it.
Okay, and what if I told you that these exhibits are monitored and we can tell what happened? I would highly suggest telling the truth, because it will be so much worse if you do not. And this is the superintendent speaking.
So, one, it's very smart to have the exhibits being modern and stuff, especially with very expensive artifacts and whatnot. Uh, the story, the truth. So a friend of a friend, don't really know if they're friends or not. I don't know. But they wanted to, they needed help. So we agreed to help them, and so we were covering for those who went with the friend, and I didn't want Phineas to get into trouble, so I went to extreme.
So you were covering for Phineas, Kells, and Tim.
Yes.
So you do admit to throwing the bracelet on the ground and it being dunk snaps.
Yes.
Okay, well. This is a repeated offense with you. You seem to be having a lot of disciplinary issues at the school. I'm gonna have to figure out your punishment for this. I will speak it over with your head of house, but for now you are essentially grounded. No going off campus, no extracurricular activities. We'll discuss exactly for how long that is, but for now, until Coach Harding gets back from the field trip he's supervising, we'll put that on hold. But thank you for finally telling us the truth. Granted, you did lie at first. Where did you get the dung snaps?
From Mojo.
Of course. Okay. Well, since you're being honest there, maybe we'll be a little bit more lenient, but good to know. Thank you. You can go ahead and step out.
She will do so.
Let's see. Phineas, Kells, Tim is gonna go in before you and speak with them. And he speaks with them a bit about what happened and his story, and then hopefully yours matches up. So he gets sent out, and you guys now go in to tell your piece of the story too. Now it's Professor Victus, the superintendent, Professor Hart, Professor Hart. So, okay, it's my understanding you have a ghost story to tell me.
Yes.
Okay, why don't you start from the beginning? Tell me exactly what happened, start to finish. We did not get a lot of details of exactly what occurred, obviously. Told you don't remember anything, but Mr. Rook was here with you the whole time and should be able to tell us what happened.
Yeah, so I guess we were in the exhibits, and I guess Phineas was there in the Salem exhibit when our group entered it. Because I guess we ended up going buy some t-shirts from the gift shop. And then I don't really remember anything past that point.
Why did you want to go buy t-shirts right that moment? I mean, you had to know you were going to have an opportunity to at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. Maybe it was part of the possession thing.
He looks at Phineas. Care to explain? You were there.
Was I?
Yes.
I believe you. And skulking in shadows does sound like something I would do. Buying t-shirts, not so much. The whole days were rather hazy, actually.
So you're claiming you
And
don't
that's-
remember anything either?
Well, because of roll-in reasons, it legit is kind of hazy.
Right.
See, I do... I do remember... someone was killed at the school. Or killed elsewhere, and their spirit is attached to the school somehow. Very interested in solving its own murder. I know that. I think. What else? A red mask. Yes. Yes, a red mask. I remember that very clearly.
You see the teachers kind of look at each other. Okay. Do you remember what the mask looked like?
I will describe it.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember where you saw the mask?
No.
Okay. Well,
But it wasn't on I know it wasn't on a person, because then I would remember a person in a mask. I just have an
right,
image
you
of...
just found the mask itself.
I have an image of a mask. I think.
Okay. Okay. Well, is there a reason you didn't come to the instructors first?
About
Maybe.
about the mask.
No, about your friend supposedly being possessed?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
Was Professor Levi there? Because I have a feeling I would have gone to
No.
him if I needed help.
no, he's not. He's supervising a different
Oh.
field
Well,
trip.
maybe that's why.
Well, you still should have gone to your other instructors.
Probably.
Right. Okay. Well, we're going to say minus 20 house points for Spaderis in this case, because in the future, you need to get an adult and get
Alright.
one of your instructors when this happens, because something terrible could have happened. Obviously, Miss Michaels, it's not your fault that you were possessed, so we're not going to take house points from you. And we can't be sure that the going off to the gift shop to get a t-shirt wasn't part of that influence, so you're off this time, but if something similar were to ever happen where you were not the one possessed, get a t-shirt.
Oh. There was an adult.
What adult?
I'm not sure. But I will describe Rodney.
Unfortunately, his description is very bland. It's like,
I will describe it, but in great detail. Like, I don't know. I just have an image of some adult in my head. Don't know.
interesting. Okay. Well, it's also my understanding that Aspen covered for you all with the dung snaps. I'm not sure how that came to be. Do you remember asking for her to cover for you guys at all.
Were we there? When was this?
This was after you all, I believe, after you all had left the museum.
They'll describe it. She threw the door. I don't think we would have explicitly asked that. Do you, Kels?
Give me a charm roll, difficulty 4.
Anything's possible. Three plus 1 is 4, plus adversity token is 5.
Just Phineas. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Because he's the one talking. But they're like, okay. Well, obviously you don't remember, but once again, it seems there were deliberate efforts made. Perhaps she just noticed you were missing because you were in her group, Phineas, but she did explicitly mention covering for you specifically. And you were in her group, so.
Well, I hope she isn't going to get in too much trouble. There wasn't any damage or anything, was there?
I mean, it's closed down that exhibit for some time, and the rest of the public was not able to visit that exhibit today. So, and we are on very unsure terms with the museum now as far as future field trips.
Well, that's a shame. I did enjoy the... What was I saying?
You were talking about enjoying the museum, but if there's nothing else you feel you need to tell us or any other information, you're released.
I stand up to go. Thank the professors.
Not unless there was
Ms.
some...
Michaels, if you are feeling any side effects, please go see Dr. Tetsuya.
Mm-hmm.
Kels.
Is this after we've left?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah?
What exactly is going on?
What? You knew what was going on at lunch. Did something happen? Well, I guess we can ask Aspen later.
I don't know.
Cool.
But I have an image of a red mask burned into my brain. Do you think it means something?
It might.
Hells, you saw the red mask as well.
I know, but I'm not going to talk about it right now in the hallway just outside the professor's room.
Yeah, okay.
This is Phineas setting up for an insanity defense.
Sure is.
All right, you guys are... There's no other years here. It's just the first years right now. So.
I'm going to see if Casey wants to practice.
Okay.
I'm feeling a little jumpy after that museum trip. Need to work out some nerves.
I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. We need to talk about what the hell happened.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm going to the library to research red masks.
I'm going to the library because it seems like a good place to talk about what we found. We can find a private room situation, smaller room.
While you guys are swimming, Brigham, Casey will ask, so did you see who did the snakes or anything?
No, I've got no clue. Did you?
No. So your friend, the creature girl, seems like she's going to be in big trouble, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure why she did what she did. I'm sure she had a good reason, though.
I heard she threw a bunch of dung snaps and basically closed that night exhibit single-handedly
Oof.
and did it in front of everybody.
Oof.
In front of everyone.
I've never
I
seen
heard
Professor Haro look so mad.
I kept hearing about some people being possessed. I wonder if she got possessed too. That just seems so out of character for her.
I don't know. That Tim kid was. They took him to the office, so maybe.
What about Tim?
The ghost kid?
Tim's the ghost?
No, I don't know. There's like a rumor going around that he talks to ghosts or whatever, or can control ghosts or see ghosts or something.
Oh. Oh, I hope not. Ghosts are scary. I hate for him. He just seems so lonely too.
I mean, that's probably why he sticks to himself. I mean, who needs friends when you got imaginary ones, right?
Nah, you need friends, especially if you want to have a whole underwater hockey team, right?
Teammates, yeah. You guys will just talk about random stuff and keep practicing underwater hockey unless there's anything else you want to ask him.
Oh, did I ever ask him where he was that night?
No.
Okay. Hey, Casey.
What's
There
up?
was the night after movie club that I was supposed to come join you, and I was a little late, or a lot of late. And
Yeah.
when I came down here, you weren't here. Like your clothes were in the locker, but you weren't in the pool. And we looked all over for you. And I want to make sure you were okay that night.
Well, I'm fine now, right?
Yeah, I just was kind of curious where you were.
Well, maybe next time you should go to practice with me, and you would know.
There.
What was the
Okay,
phase of the
go
moon
along.
that night?
It was
Waxing
the
gibbous.
night
Oh, it was.
prior to the full moon. The
Yeah.
full moon was the night after.
Yeah. Just saying. Oh.
So you guys practice. Let's see. All right, so you guys are going to the library to discuss things.
Well, to research red masks.
And discuss things
Yes.
and look at that yearbook you grabbed.
Yes.
Aspen, as of right now, at least until your head of house comes back, you are on room restriction, so you are only allowed to leave for meals. But he should be back before dinner anyway.
Aspen will be working on the report.
Gustav, what are you doing? Are you in the library too?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Kells,
Yeah.
I don't want to overstep, but if only the first years are in the school, and you wanted a private conversation with someone, then now would be the perfect time.
Like,
I'm talking about Izzy.
now is not the perfect time. I don't think any time is the perfect time.
Okay. Not changing the subject or anything, but the adults believed that the ghost story, and they were very worried. Can ghosts just possess people all the time, or are you especially vulnerable because you're a seer?
I don't think ghosts can possess people all the time, based on my ghost research.
Did you guys have Tim come with you?
I mean,
Talk over
probably.
stuff? Yeah, okay. So he'll explain. And so ghosts can't possess people for long periods of time. Technically, they can possess anyone so long as they're not wearing something to prevent possession. So, but the longer they possess someone, the more of a toll it takes on them. So if they possess someone for a long period of time, as soon as they stop possessing them, they'll become very sick and it's not a pleasant experience.
That is a bit scary.
Yeah. Some are more susceptible to possession than others, though.
Well, that explains why everybody asking if I'm okay. But at any rate.
Oh, well, the person being possessed, yeah, there's some. Usually it's nausea and sickness that comes with after. It's very jarring experience, I guess.
Is your hand all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
So at any rate. Phineas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember anything that happened this morning?
I remember Red Mask. I remember the man. And then I was looking at something. I don't know. Sounds like a lot happened.
Right. Well, where's the that other kid that you guys, the cult kid you guys hang out with?
No, I don't know.
The young Calabar.
You call him 2K.
Oh, Calder, yes.
I don't know. Maybe he's with the what's his name? I looked it up at the other day.
Hoda?
Yeah, Coda. He's hanging out with him. It looks like they're hanging out at lunch.
Why?
Do you think they're at our house?
If they're not here, that seems like the most likely place.
Okay. He gets up to leave.
Why are you looking for
do you
Calder?
ask?
Just want to ask him something.
About?
About something.
Well, be nice.
Yeah.
I can go with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll stay here and read my books.
Cool. So Hells, you go down with Tim, look for Calder, and he is hanging out with Coda. They're trying to work on transfiguring things.
Hey, 2K. Hey, Coda.
Hey,
2K, can we talk with you for a bit?
he'll look at Coda and okay. And get up. He's like, okay, but hurry back. We need to finish this before my brother gets back.
Yeah,
So
they
you
would.
guys will go into your room, I guess.
Yeah.
Here. And talk. And Tim will take out of his jacket the picture and be like, you recognize this guy? And you see a look of realization and fear on 2K's face. And you hear Tim go, you killed me, didn't you? And Calder runs out of the room.
Shit. What is Tim doing?
He looks at you. What do you do? What is your first gut reaction to do?
Like, he's possessed, right? By the guy, I assume?
So he sees that moment of realization on your face
Yeah.
and takes out his wand and basically has you restrained, and your blanket like wraps around you.
We've been practicing deflecting spells.
Can I try deflecting this, or is he going to be too fast for me?
It'll be difficult, but I'll give you a chance to try.
Okay.
So we'll say difficulty 16, for
Oh yeah.
a
I think it's grit, wouldn't it? That's defending yourself.
yeah.
All right. D8. Time to roll an 8, because that's what I need. Oh no. So a 5. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to take those adversity tokens nice and snug.
Okay. And he goes out, closes the door behind you, and locks the door.
If I can start screaming, I'm going to start screaming.
He hears you start to scream as soon as he leaves, opens up the door, casts another spell, and part of the blanket wraps around your...
Oh,
your
good. Muffled
face as
screams it is.
well. Yeah. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
The
So-
answer was at the school the whole time.
Why the wild goose chase to that old house?
Had to
Because
get a
we had to get
recent
the
picture.
most... Yeah, the most recent picture. He did not look the same younger.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was the case.
I was
first.
super sus as soon as Tim was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about that. Oh, don't look at those. Don't look at these things. Yeah, put them away. Don't take them." It's like,
Well,
Really?
that's suddenly realizing that when all the teachers are asking about that red mask really suspiciously, maybe, just maybe, that's a blood cult mask.
oh yeah,
Maybe.
oh yeah, or something.
Yeah, and all
Something
that,
like that.
food he was suddenly super interested in eating. The first session he had a very humble breakfast, and then the other he always was
Yeah.
loading up his plate
And
and then
he's-
getting desserts and stuff and messing with his hand and
Oh, no.
not wanting to get Professor Levi involved in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
Being really sus about certain questions and not answering you guys.
he's
Yeah.
super sus. The good news is, he is the perfect scapegoat for everything, and not even
Well,
Tim.
it sounds
And
like
Tim
Tim's
doesn't
going to have a real bad time.
Oh yeah.
Tim's going to have a real bad time and be like, why did you even think I would talk to you guys?
I know, right? We have to save Tim's life because the longer the spirit's in him, the worse it's going to be for him.
Cool. So this was Kids on Brooms, session 2 of 3 for this series. Hopefully we will resolve it next time and you guys will save Tim and figure out all those loose ends, whatever. Time up. I'm SJ or SJ_sidekick. I do not stream, but I'm on here a lot. Our next game is on
Thursday.
Thursday.
So
Like
the
day after
26th.
tomorrow?
Thursday, not this
Okay,
week.
okay.
Not this week. Next week.
Next
Yeah,
week.
because I'll be gone.
That's right.
And, yeah. So tune in for that. Or if you're gonna miss it, there's always the VODs on YouTube. Kels.
All right. I'm Misha_less_than 3 on Twitch, or at Mishawea on Twitter or Tumblr, where sometimes I post art. Looking forward to just being in a blanket the next session. Hatter.
I thought the game was this Thursday. It's next Thursday.
It's next Thursday. It's next Thursday.
week. The whole reason we had it on Sunday, Tuesday this week between those two is because myself and Misha will be gone for Thursday.
Got it.
Okay, cool. I'm Hatter. I've been playing Brigham, and today was an action-packed episode that was very interesting. I'm still kind of reeling by this twist, and this is so above our pay grade. And I really hope we can save Tim, and then maybe Tim will be our friend. We'll see. Either that or he'll never talk to us again. Flip a coin. We'll see what happens. Sin.
Hi, I'm Sin or Sinful__potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, most social media sites. I promise you it sounds worse than it is. Sound-wise, voice-wise, it's fine. I'm surviving. I have been playing Aspen. I don't know how long I'll be playing Aspen for, but I have been playing Aspen. She is currently on the road to expulsion, which is fun, all fun things. It's wonderful that we're working on saving Tim, but right now Aspen is working on saving herself from expulsion. Twi.
Hello, I'm Twi'lek, and I have been playing Gustav. This session, I made a few excuses for people. Next session, I might, look for the prefect's secret party room, or, the school's empty. I've got plenty of things I could be doing. But if Sin dies and Aspen gets expelled, then I might, go to her funeral. Phineas.
One, Sin is not going to die. Aspen may go to jail, but we have a plan for this that I just made. Her name is Willow. She's Aspen's cousin, and she is an exchange student from Canada. All fixed. Just swap it right in. Just slightly change the color of the hair, because she can have a potato dragon familiar too. Anyway, identical cousins. That's a thing that happens all the time in 50s TV shows. I'm Zero Daylight. I've been playing Phineas, who has discovered the advantage of being half insane and forced by curses to forget things, because it's real easy to play innocent. And you will see me next when we get together next week for the conclusion of this, and then we are coming up, I think, right on. Fingers crossed. Go ahead.
This Sunday.
Never mind. So you will see Misha and myself next. Did you say this already?
No.
Okay, good. I was like, I'm not catching it from Phineas, am I? So this coming Sunday, Misha and I and lovely Rachie H and lovely Hal and lovely Meg will be revisiting the little old ladies who knit and hunt and, design fashion and solve murders that involve horrifying supernatural elements in the return of Monster, She Wrote, our Brindlewood Bay series.
Except we replace Hell with Morrow.
Oh, that's right. Morrow, not Hell. Never mind. The husband, not the wife. Cool. So yes, I am catching it from Phineas. So yes, so more stuff. Come join us on Sunday for that. Come join us next Thursday for the conclusion of this, and then come join us after that for the continuation of things. So we should probably go see somebody. Who should it be? I see Zam is up. We haven't seen him in a bit. Batty's up. Zam or Batty? Or does anyone else have a suggestion?
Nope, those are the ones in this group that
Chat.
I know.
Zam is crafting. I think let's go see Zam craft. Because that will be a good homage to Misha's character in Monster, She Wrote. So I typed it in correctly. Awesome. Thanks for dropping in the raid calls. Go ahead and copy those and show Zam the love and critique. Do lots of counting. So he'll lose count of his stitches and have to start over again. That'll be fun to watch because he's never filled with rage or anything. So that'll be awesome. Cool. Well, we will see you all again very shortly. All right. Bye, everybody.